I was once on a popular podcast and we were having a conversation around communication in personal life. And the host asks me, Ipsita, I love my friends, but I also have my goals to work on every day. Recently, they wanted us to go on a trip and I have my podcast's 100th episode to shoot. I can't go to the trip. But how do I tell them that I have something more important to do so that I can't come on the trip without hurting their feelings or our friendship? What Deepak, the podcast host, was going through is a very common scenario in all our lives, be it personal or even professional. How do I say no without sounding rude? Well, there is a way to have the cake and eat it too. A mindset and a technique. Let's talk about the mindset first. Your biggest impediment to successfully saying no is your own lack of conviction in saying no. Most times you yourself are unsure about why you are saying no, and that lack of confidence in your own reasons can be sensed by others intuitively, which is why, number one, they don't take your no seriously, and number two, they keep pushing you to change your stance and instead say yes. Now, this looks harmless on the surface, but what happens with each time you say yes when you want to say no is that others stop taking you seriously and you stop trusting your own decisions. I'm going to tell you the crux of human nature now. Listen to this very carefully. In fact, take out a pen and paper and write it down. People don't treat you based on what they think about you. People treat you based on what they think you think about yourself. With each action, you are teaching people how to treat you and whether to take your words seriously. So first, have a mindset of strong conviction behind your own reason for saying no. And within yourself internally, be sure of why you can't go on the trip and what you have to lose if you don't shoot that 100th podcast and devote yourself to your ambition. Have your own version of that story. Be very clear about the cost and convey it to your friends well. And this is where being brutally clear about your goals becomes crucial. When you don't know what it is that you're trying to achieve, which also means you don't know exactly what direction you're going in, you will always be confused about the things you should say yes to or no to. For example, let's say you're invited to a party. Now, if you have decided that you're going to quit smoking, you will say no to that party. There is no debate or confusion. Because if you're sensible, you know that there will be people smoking at the party and each to their own, but that might allow you to give in to that temptation. So that clear goal of quitting smoking and a strong why behind that goal is your map for the things you will say yes or no to. So clarify your goal. Now to the main part. How do you actually say no without sounding rude? I'm going to tell you a method that is used by human resource managers all across the world in the biggest corporations to give critical feedback and soften the blow to customers and employees. And I'm going to show you how you can take an HR method and apply it to make your most difficult conversations easier. The sandwich method. It is a 3-part method where you deliver your statements in this particular sequence. Step 1, top bun of the sandwich. Say something nice or acknowledge. Step 2, which is the meat or the filling of the sandwich, insert the no. And step 3, the last step, bottom bun of the sandwich, give them an option or alternative and ask for their opinion. So this is what Deepak could have said to his friends. Wow man, I can't believe our boys' trip to Rishikesh is finally here. But don't hate me for saying this. I can't join you guys on this one. My podcast 100 shoot is scheduled for the same day we leave and I absolutely can't afford to miss this guest. But how about I plan our next August trip to Kerala? I'll make a killer itinerary and all of us are going. All of us. What do you think? What you are doing in this process is first lowering their defenses by saying something nice, then inserting the no or that unpleasant part. Here you are temporarily taking power away from them, finally closing that sandwich with giving them alternative options while transferring the power back to them by asking them what they think. Always remember that any healthy relationship is a back and forth of transferring of power. Another example of sandwich method in action could be this. Let's say your friend Ayush asks you to hang out and you can't or won't for some reason. With the sandwich method, you say, dude, it's always so much fun hanging out with you, but today I actually have to spend the evening planning for my next podcast shoot. But let's meet on Sunday if you're free. What do you think? You know what is the main difference between India as a country and other Western countries? Bharat is a community-first country. And cultures in the West, like the United States, are individualistic. What does a community-first culture mean? It means in India, we give more importance to the needs of the larger group of people, the community, before the needs of the individual. India is a country of culture, reverence, respect, and hierarchy. India is a country where when your elders give you money, it is not only ritualistic but considered rude if you don't refuse a few times or accept too quickly. We are not brought up with the luxury of being direct, and beating around the bush when you disagree with your boss is the wiser decision. But that doesn't mean that you can't be firm or voice your opinion. For high empathy, hierarchy-sensitive cultures like ours, what we have to do is we have to course correct with methods like the sandwich method, where you can say what you think, but the only difference is that it is wrapped in careful consideration. Now, it's your turn. Think of one thing you've been wanting to refuse or critique. Is it an invitation, a request, or a favor someone asked of you? Or is it an unpleasant feedback you're required to give someone to move a project forward? Whatever it is, build your sandwich right now. The nice thing, the no or the feedback, and the alternative. And once you are done, write it down in the comments below. I'm going to read it. See you in the next video.